Today we will be looking at Katy Perry's song, Roar. It was written by Dr. Luke, Max Martin, Cricket, as well as Bonnie McGee and Katy Perry herself. It was released digitally on August 12, 2013. Roar is a part of the album Prism. Katy Perry's previous albums were 2001, entitled Katy Hudson, which is her given name, 2008, One of the Boys, and 2010, Teenage Dream. The musical style of Roar can be described using several terms, the first of which would be power pop, which is characterized by a strong drum beat. We can hear the strong drum beat in the introduction of Roar. The second term would be folk rock, which uses traditional instruments such as the piano alongside rock instruments such as drums and guitar. The third term we could use would be arena rock, which uses an anthematic chorus and a made-for-radio sound. Two good examples of arena rock would be We Are the Champions and We Will Rock You, both by Queen.
We are the champions, my friend.
The instrumentation for Roar is piano or keyboard and drums. It's written in the key of B-flat major with a 4/4 time signature. The chord progression used throughout the entire song is B-flat, C minor, G minor, and E-flat. The only variation from this chord progression would be during the bridge where F major is used. The bass line follows this same progression from B-flat to C, G, and E-flat if you're playing it on the keyboard. Of Roar can be described as expanded ternary form. This is because the verse and the chorus are both repeated, and we have a pre-chorus, introduction, and outro. In verse 1, the voice of the song is one that could be described as dejected or being unheard, unable to stand up for oneself. We can see the words that rhyme in italics: breath with mess, quietly with politely, choice with point, and nothing with everything. This voice, however, changes by the time we come to verse 2, where it is now a voice of a champion, one that has overcome and is now strong and empowered. We can see that butterfly rhymes with stripes and zero with hero. There are several themes of Roar. These depend on which perspective you take as you listen to the lyrics. The first could be going along with the crowd and not standing up for your own beliefs or opinions. The second could be bullying, where you're being pushed around by someone who is stronger than you and doesn't let you speak for yourself. The third could be empowerment, where the potential inside of all of us is given rise once our voice is heard. Overcoming obstacles is also a theme of this song, and being heard, as in roaring. The bridge consists of one word repeated. However, this is a very important part of the song. She begins by singing it softer, and then gradually building it into a climactic point where she sings the last roar on a high note leading into the chorus, which is extremely emphasized and powerful. Roar was extremely successful, selling 557,000 digital copies the first week it was released. By the 17th week, it had surpassed 4 million sales. It is the song with the fastest rise to the top of the charts, and in 2013 it was the 6th best-selling song. Roar was Katy Perry's 8th chart topper, tying her with Maroon 5 and Pink for the most #1 hits. What makes the song such a hit? The first would be that Katy Perry is speaking to a larger audience with this song. Previously, she had spoken to listeners who were in their teenage years. However, this song speaks to people of all ages, young, old, and in between. There are also two musical hooks that draw the listener in. The first would be in the very beginning with the introduction with the strong rhythmic drum beat. The second is heard in the chorus, where the O sound in Roar is repeated multiple times. This hook has two purposes. The first is to grab the ear of the listener and make them pay attention. The second is to make it easily recognizable. Even if you've heard the song only one time before, upon hearing it again, you would immediately recognize the song. It also makes the song fun to sing along with. Even if you don't know the words of the verses, you can always remember the O in Roar. The third would be the message of empowerment. This is a message that speaks to people of all kinds and types, ages, and walks of life. It is one that we all need to hear. That hey that she adds into the pre-chorus underlines this message of empowerment. It's similar to the sound that martial artists use as they're doing their moves. The fourth reason would be that Roar uses familiar phrases that grab the attention of listeners that might otherwise not have paid attention to the song. The first of those phrases is Eye of the Tiger. This comes from a song entitled Champion by Survivor. It was part of a soundtrack to the movie Rocky III, which was part of a series of movies that were extremely popular about a boxer who overcame obstacles, trained hard, and became a champion. Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee, which is a quote from the world-renowned boxer Muhammad Ali. There is some criticism and controversy that accompany this song. Katy Perry has been criticized for using cliches in her verses. She was also criticized by the People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals, or PETA, for the use of exotic animals in her music video. Katy Perry responded to this by saying that she had a member of the American Humane Society on set all 3 days that the video was shot. Controversy is also connected to Roar. That is because there is a striking resemblance between Roar and the song Brave by Sarah Bareilles.
You can be amazing, you can turn a phrase into a weapon or a drug. You can be the outcast or be the backlash of somebody's lack of love. Or you can start speaking up.
Did you notice there were similarities? The first would be the rhythmic drum beat in the introduction of the song. The second follows immediately after, with the chord being repeated in the right hand on the keyboard. And the third would be that same message of empowerment and speaking up for oneself. There are several reasons why we can all relate to the song Roar. We can all identify with the feeling of being held down. It's happened to all of us at some point in our lives. We are all inspired by the message of empowerment and being told that we can do it in spite of hardships. And the lyrics in this song are presented in such a way that they use strong imagery and a storyline that is easy to follow and has a great ending. So there you have it, Katy Perry's Roar.